I'm not the only one who's had to shut my business down. I wasn't the first one. I'm probably not going to be the last one.
I don't want to close my business. I want to continue growing, but why I'm not receiving the support? What I need to do to get that support?
I will survive, but to do that, you have to adjust to the situation. And so I would hate to lay off all my staff, but these are the things that go through my mind right now, because if tomorrow there's no money, what do you do?
Small business owners in Yuma, Arizona are struggling. For Yuma, like much of the country, the pandemic has slammed the brakes on the local economy. Randy Nelson advises these entrepreneurs and hundreds like them in Yuma at the Small Business Development Center. For the first time in his nearly 20-year career there, his primary focus has gone from helping businesses grow and thrive to simply keep their doors open.
We came up with a philosophy in our office that right now we just need to help people get through this crisis, this pandemic, and we call that survival mode.
Throughout the pandemic, Nelson has been providing loan resources and counseling to local business owners around Yuma. Sitting on the border with Mexico, Yuma County remains a COVID-19 hotspot in Arizona, complicating any economic recovery for its 200,000 residents. Even before the pandemic, Yuma already had one of the highest unemployment rates in the country because the local economy relies on seasonal agriculture work and tourism.
You know, we were pretty aggressive when all this coronavirus hit, and with our counseling, the one thing that really helped our businesses stay afloat was the stimulus money from the government, the PPP loan and the economic injury disaster loan. And that helped them get through the worst of it.
The Small Business Development Center Nelson runs is one of hundreds around the country funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration. The SBA says that small businesses employ almost half of all American workers and account for 44% of the country's economic activity. The pandemic could prove catastrophic for small businesses. Analysts say as many as 4 million businesses in the U.S. could be lost in 2020. Like many states, Arizona set up a number of state and local funding programs in response to the pandemic, offering small grants to businesses. But Nelson says the larger federal programs like the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, and the EIDL loans have had more impact for his clients. Yvonne Peach received $300,000 from both loans and says they allowed the historic hotel and restaurant she's run for more than 30 years to survive.
I did apply for it, and I did get a loan. And thank God, because the money had run out. I wouldn't have been able to even pay the people at the hotel. I wouldn't have been able to continue. I'd had to shut it all down.
Early in the outbreak, Arizona shut down non-essential businesses, but then relaxed the restrictions. The virus surged during the summer, making the state a national hotspot. Arizona reinstituted some restrictions at the end of June, but has currently seen another surge as many businesses have reopened. Melody Dunn opened this neighborhood dry cleaner last December. Her business was deemed essential and didn't have to close, but the slowdown in customers took its toll.
My business plummeted 70% because everything shut down and nobody was at work and nobody was getting dry cleaning done anymore.
She received $35,000 in one-time PPP loans and more than $300,000 in additional SBA loans, but says it was costing $20,000 a month to run the business. And during the pandemic, she was barely making half that.
I spent 6 months and all the PPP money that was given by the government and the SBA relief that was given by Small Business Administration. And after 6 months, I was just out of money. And I had to close my doors. It's very emotional. And this is the first time I've been back here since I shut the doors, so.
Dunn is not alone. In Arizona, the number of small businesses open in November decreased by nearly 30% since January, according to researchers. Even for many businesses that have been able to stay open, it's come at a cost.
Honestly, nobody was here. Nobody is thinking of the small business owner. Nobody from the government in the state. Nobody from here locally.
Jarmy Rodriguez owns a salad restaurant in San Luis. He had to shut down the restaurant for 5 months and says he applied for every loan program he could, including the PPP. So far, Rodriguez says he's received $3,000 through an EIDL advance. The restaurant is currently open for takeout with limited hours, but Rodriguez doesn't think he can make it much longer without additional help.
I use all my savings in this business just through this pandemic. But honestly, I don't know if I'm going to support 2 more months this path, because the pandemic cases, the COVID cases are growing in this state, in Arizona. I don't know if the state is going to close again. What is going to happen?
After Congress provided $3 trillion of stimulus relief in the spring, including more than $500 billion in PPP loans to businesses, lawmakers have not been able to reach a new deal on COVID-19 relief in more than 7 months. Congress is actively debating a new relief plan. A current bipartisan proposal includes nearly $300 billion for small business relief, including for the PPP, which Nelson thinks could help more small businesses survive.
Through this coronavirus, very few businesses have come out whole, or where they should have been at this time without the coronavirus. They've eaten through their savings. They're probably reducing staffing. And so an additional stimulus would probably bring some staffing back up, pump some money into the economy, and help with the recovery.
But for Dunn and other small business owners like her, any new stimulus will come too late.
Getting that PPP money for that first round was a great relief. It was a great relief, and I was thankful for it because at least I could keep my doors open. And I kept thinking, they're going to come out with another round. They're going to come out with more relief. They're going to keep us small businesses open. But that's not what happened.